Chris coming to you live from Central Pennsylvania. We are now just about 14 minutes away from the scheduled departure of President Donald Trump from the Walter Reed National Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, just north of Washington, D.C., folks, within the greater District of Columbia zone there. So this is coming up. By the way, folks, you know well that President Trump was admitted to the medical center on Friday, I believe it was, suffering from symptoms of the Wuhan coronavirus COVID-19. And here it is on Monday evening, and he's headed back already. Wow. Lots of speculation coming up on that one, folks. No doubt about it. There's no doubt we're going to have that. So I will bring you the Fox News feed as soon as it's available. For the moment, it's not live. Got about 14 minutes before they go live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you the news feed from PBS. Just get that on the screen very quickly, folks. Let me reduce the size of that so you guys can see that. Okay, that's really too small. I'm going to have to adjust the size of that more. So let's put it up here, and we'll see what's going on if we got it moving. But Marine One is already landed at Walter Reed, folks. It landed a couple minutes ago, about 4 or 5 minutes ago. So that's out there. Yanni Fundervald. Is Yanni Fundervald here? Wow. Where did he come in? I don't see him. There he is. Okay. Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Yanni is up late, as always. I've got to do this now, so I got to put it on top of me. So there you go. All right, there you go. That's live from PBS, and it's outside the Walter Reed Medical Center waiting. That's the very tall tower building that you see right there. So pretty cool. Lazan is here. Good to see you, Lazan. Let me get the chat going here so I can see it and keep up with it. But I've got to make sure that I don't interrupt that stream. So let's see what happens there. Okay, there we go. Got it. Excellent. Okay, folks. Yeah, so Donald Trump admitted for symptoms related to the Wuhan coronavirus COVID-19 over the weekend, and now it is just a Monday evening, and he's leaving the hospital. What's going on there, folks? No doubt the pundits and the procrastinators, not procrastinators, the prognosticators, that's the word. Prognosticators are clearly going to have something to say about this, wondering about what's going on with Trump. How is it he magically gets out of here? I'm sure they'll make all kinds of silly claims about he was never actually infected. We already saw that from Michael Moore, the sad, pathetic documentary filmmaker. So let's see who's in the chat. Karen is here. Welcome, Karen. Serious night, Owls and Chris. Well, thank you, Karen. Robin is back. Robin with the awesome clicks video. That was so cool. Thank you for sharing that, Robin. That was super cool. And then we have Gareth Jones is back. Good to see you again. Matthew Finlayson is back. Lazan is here. Fancy meeting you folks here indeed. And Yanni, once again, good to see you again. Tian is back. Jaco Fundameva. Tian has, what is that? Is that like a green Simpsons, poison sort of avatar? That's cute. And that's everybody who's in the chat. More people are watching than that, but that's who's chosen to comment. So folks, you're welcome to comment or not. But we will see President Trump coming out of the Walter Reed National Medical Center. By the way, folks, a little background on this. Walter Reed was an Army major who discovered the causal effect of some tropical diseases and was big in the advancement of medicine for the Army back at the turn of the 20th century, the Spanish-American War. So he was a big impact, Walter Reed. So the Army's Walter Reed Medical Center was named after him. It used to be located in the northeastern part of Washington, D.C. on a huge campus, which is where past presidents had gone, and I think one president had died there, maybe Eisenhower and another. But the Walter Reed Medical Center, I actually received treatment there myself when I was stationed at Fort Meade and actually gone there for treatment. So I'm familiar with that facility. But that facility is closed, ladies and gentlemen. It was closed down as part of the base realignment, and they moved the Walter Reed Army Medical Center over to the existing Naval Medical Center at Bethesda. And Bethesda was located to the west of Walter Reed. As a crow flies, about 15 minutes. As a car drives, about half an hour or longer, depending on traffic. So Bethesda became the home of the renamed Walter Reed National Medical Center, which is the ultimate medical center for military personnel. And that is where we send people with very serious conditions. And we have some of the top physicians in all their fields in the world that work for the military who are at Walter Reed. It's not our only medical center, but it's one of our top ones. All right, so there you go. So that's what's going on with that. We're waiting for Donald Trump to come out, and he, of course, will be most likely greeted by a raucous crowd. A number of supporters have been outside of the medical center since he went in there Friday, holding up banners and cheering him on, wishing him well. But, of course, lots of people on the political left and Democrats have been wishing him nothing but the worst of outcomes. And it should be interesting to see Donald Trump, who is kind of like the Energizer Bunny, folks. He takes a licking but keeps on ticking. It doesn't matter what the leftists throw at him, and now we will see if it doesn't matter what COVID throws at him. During the debate, or the farce that was called a debate last week, I pointed out that Donald Trump was below par. He wasn't up to his standard performance, and I was disappointed. And for those of you who watch my channel, you know that I point out that for that so-called debate, I gave Donald Trump a B- on performance, and I gave Joe Biden a C+, which I think was generous. But Trump was not up to par, and now that we know about the COVID, the Rona, maybe he already had it and just hadn't tested positive on a test as of that point, which happens. It's a problem with HIV. We know that it takes a period of time for the body to build antibodies to it before you get a positive test. So there you see Marine One already on the grounds, along with some local police vehicles parked outside the facility in Bethesda, Maryland, folks. So Robin, he said that he stopped to greet people in the hospital, but if he didn't do it, the media would have called him rude. Exactly, Robin. Exactly. You're spot on. And this, by the way, this is what Donald Trump came up with earlier. Let's get back to that. Leaving the hospital. See if that'll come on top here. So there you go, folks. That's the tweet from President Trump earlier. He did today. He said that he'll be leaving at 6:30 p.m., which is now 8 minutes away, folks. He said he's feeling good. Don't be afraid of COVID. Don't let it dominate your life. We have deployed under the Trump administration some really great drugs and knowledge. I feel better than I did 20 years ago. Well, that's impressive, but I'm going to call BS on feeling better than you did 20 years ago. Donald Trump has had a healthy life and also has a good disposition, but I find it shocking that he feels better than he did at the age of 54. Anyway, so Donald Trump, but maybe. Anyway, Trump is king, says Stroys Bob. Hey, Stroys Bob, welcome back. Love the support for the police icon that you have there for your avatar. That's awesome. Michelle Hutton, welcome from Durban. Moki Ungere, welcome to you. Good to see you. Anyway, folks, welcome into the stream. We're waiting for Donald Trump to leave. As I said, the Fox News, which should probably be a better feed, I'll try it. We'll switch between the two of them, whichever is better. But once it comes up, I'll turn the volume on. And if there's any commentary, we'll listen to the commentary on the network, and I'll reduce the size of my video. But if there's no commentary from then, I will adjust everything so that you hear me and not dead air. So you see a Trump 2020 flag blowing right there in front of the camera. Been a huge crowd of people outside there. The press has not been covering it. They've been ignoring it, but I've seen photographs that have been done in print media and also by other photojournalists who have been covering the events outside of Walter Reed. But the media has done a very good job of hiding the fact that Donald Trump has a huge crowd. Now, they also went to great lengths to accuse Trump of exposing the Secret Service to the virus with a needless... Oh, I forgot to do this earlier. Gosh, I was asked about the Santa. Now, this is the... I'm sorry. I forget who that was in the earlier stream. Yeah, this is from the Netherlands. It's Nietje. There you go. This is the Miffy. It's a night Miffy. The little dolls. These are little rabbits, and they're popular in the Netherlands. I'm sorry. There's a whole thing around them, a whole ethos. Anyway, so a whole campaign. Yanni says, I was talking to Tian. He says, yeah, we're moved in about 80% finished unpacking, but busy painting first, then mount the TVs, unpack the rest. Yeah, that's why Yanni, I haven't been harassing Yanni and asking what's going on because I haven't seen him much on the stream or on any other channels for that matter. I figured he's busy getting settled in. Well, thanks to the almost 30 people who've tuned in for this right now. Robin says, you know if any celebs who wish death and Trump? No, actually, I actually saw that Melissa Milano actually was well-behaved for once. She said that she wished him well, which I almost passed out when I saw that. So a number of people heading towards the door right now. Interesting outfits. They look like maintenance workers. That's interesting. They look like they got the wrong color overalls on for the EFF. They got the brown instead of the red. But I don't know about any celebs. Bosch Zebra is back. Good to see you, Bosch Zebra. Excuse me, folks. Yeah, so President Trump, now we are less than a month away. Well, we are 1 month away exactly from the election of 2020, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, 1 month from tomorrow. There you go. Andre Beat tried some new coffee at 6 p.m. Can't sleep. Thanks for your show. You're welcome, Andre. Well, this is a special treat, special feature, live breaking news presentation here that you're getting on Chris White Africa. And this is because President Trump is leaving the Walter Reed National Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. And that's why this stream is up. So welcome into the channel, folks. I can see some reporters out there. That is, of course, the PBS feed, as I promised you. We'll have to check into the Fox feed there in a minute and see if anything's changed. They were supposed to be on just before the bottom of the hour, so hopefully they'll pop up. One of the challenges with this, ladies and gentlemen, of course, with heads of state, is their movement is not as simple as they want to move. The Secret Service and local law enforcement must have things in sync and agreement as to what happens. But Robin made a very good point earlier. She said that when Trump went out to greet his supporters, if he hadn't done that, he would have been called rude. Yeah. Just like, folks, the nonsense, as I reported earlier on CBS News' website, which they claimed fraudulently that Donald Trump refused to repudiate white supremacists. Asked and answered, done, over and over and over again. Donald Trump has done that many times, and the media just simply lies about it. He did it in the debate. And then they lied about it. So he repudiated white supremacists once again. It's just really pathetic, ladies and gentlemen, that people have to behave in this fashion. If their ideas are so compelling, then why don't they try to sell some of their ideas? You know that Joe Biden is calling for mandatory mask wearing, regardless of the social damage to society, the physical damage it does to children, the developmental damage it does to children who can't read their parents' faces. They can't read their emotions, so they develop stunted emotional development, and they have poor human relations as consequences and inability to determine things that people pick up from nonverbal cues. The damage done to children because of the inability to see nonverbal cues is incalculable. And the heartless bastards like the mayor of New York City, the mayor Bill de Blasio, the blowhard, is now trying to shut down 100 schools in the city schools of New York because the COVID cases in New York have risen by, are you ready for this, folks? Are you ready for this? The COVID cases reported in New York City have risen this week by 100%? No. 75? No. 50%? No. The number of cases in New York City are reported to have risen by 3%. And on the basis of that, this totalitarian fascist wants to shut down schools and keep children uneducated and illiterate. That's the truth. That's what's happening. New York City wants to shut down 100 public schools for an extended period of time because 3% rise in cases. Are you freaking serious? That's what's happening. Folks, we need the president back on the stump, back on the campaign trail, back in the White House, not sitting in a health facility. I will say that I'm a little concerned that he's departing after such a short period of time. If he is, it tells me a couple of things. These are anecdotal. I have no evidence. This is simply analysis based on the facts before us. Number one, either he was already positive by the time that the so-called farcical debate took place, and that his test was a failure, which we know that many of the tests are inaccurate. So he had inaccurate test result, went to it, was already feeling effects of, which will explain his poor performance in some respect. And he was already feeling it, and then he sought care as a consequence after he got a positive test, and they gave him treatments that are likely to help many others that have been developed as a consequence of the federal government pouring assistance into this sector to get something developed. So that may be the case. Or maybe Trump is Superman and his immune system was pretty powerful and he's kicked it already. But it does seem quite odd. Now, there are all ranges of reactions to the Wuhan coronavirus COVID-19. You have people who have it who never know they had it because they're asymptomatic and they don't feel the effects of it. There are apparently people like that. So they get it. They wind up later testing positive and they're like, I was never sick. And that's the majority of people. Then you have people who have mild cases like Trump apparently has and who just get a slight cough, chills, and fever. Their body overcomes it and they move on. And you get people who are heavily affected by it and it takes them weeks to recover, and those, of course, who never recover. So it's a wide scale how it affects people. So it looks like Trump might be one of those that gets over it pretty quickly. I hope he hasn't overdone it and overstressed himself, because that's not what we need. We need Donald Trump to be healthy, not dropping down on us. Yanni says, is the weather turning by you? Yeah, it's gotten cooler, Yanni, by about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, so about 8 to 10 degrees Celsius. It's cooler now. My kind of weather. I wore this today just because I wanted something long sleeve on, but I was out exercising after my last stream and before this one started, so I threw this on just to stay warm. Not that I need it. I was fine in a T-shirt. Lazan says, don't make the mistake we made and use the screws, etc. They give it. Oh, you're talking about fixing this place up. Tian was at the coast last week. People cannot wait to take out their mask. Nobody gives a crap anymore, but it's illegal to not wear it. Where is it illegal not to wear it? In South Africa, Tian? Is that what you're talking about? That's crazy. At the beach, that's crazy. Huh. Robin says, also started during the debate, Trump wanted to talk about looting and riots in New York, and it seemed like they kept shutting down. They did. It wasn't a debate. It was a joke. YouTube notifications are wonky again. Well, Yako, this was a stream that I put up less than an hour before it happened. So on a case like that, I'm not surprised if people don't get the notification. If you don't do it within 30 minutes, I know that people don't get the notification for sure. But so that's possible that it didn't let people know. We never used to either, but we will only be at this place for 3 months. Oh, that's Liaison. All right, somebody's coming out. Andre says, why haven't we seen the same historical madness and death in SA and USA like in China. I was expecting mass grave in SA, at least considering the crowds. Because the virus only kills 0.15% of the people who are exposed to it, okay? Let me get this straight. This is the facts. This is what we've known all along, and the World Health Organization lied to us. They told us that the fatality rate was 3.25 to 3.45. Folks, the fatality rate is this: 0%, 0.15 to 0%, 0.25. All right? So that is the fatality rate from this virus. By the way, do you know what influenza typically is? It changes, but typically this is influenza. So that's COVID. Okay? And this is flu. Now it changes because some strains are more virulent, but the flu typically is 0.1% of 1%. 0.1% of 1%. Every year, 34 to 40 million Americans are infected by influenza at least once. Some get it more than one time. We lose between 10 and 40,000 Americans to influenza every single year. We didn't shut the world down for influenza. It's also contagious and also spread in a similar fashion to COVID-19. This is why there are no mass graves, because very few people die from this disease. Now, the media will lie to you, and governments will lie to you, like Pennsylvania, 163,000 cases. Yeah, in the aggregate. Am I supposed to count the aggregate for influenza? How many people got influenza this year? 34 million. How many people in America have gotten COVID-19? 7 million. 34 million, 7 million, but we're not shutting things down for influenza. And you're not going to claim that influenza is not a dangerous virus. It is a dangerous virus. It kills people every year, especially those with underlying health conditions, very similar to COVID-19. That's why we don't see mass graves. The whole 1 million graves in Gauteng was BS. That was fraudulent, probably a BEE tender, most likely, to funnel money to some corrupt person in South Africa. Yeah, so it's utter nonsense. Let's see. So that's why we don't see the mass graves, Andre. Robin says, only wear my mask so that I can enter the stores. Other than that, I don't bother. I can't stand seeing people wearing them outside, and the poor kids too. Exactly, Robin. The World Health Organization themselves told us that masks don't work, and now we're being persecuted for not wearing masks. And people are bullying people. It's stigmatization of people because they're not wearing masks. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. Now, how do I know who has tuberculosis? In the past, I knew who had active tuberculosis when I was in South Africa because they're wearing masks in order to protect us from them. So it's interesting, people, that the left is going off talking about Donald Trump going, well, he deserved what he got because he's against masks. But remember during the debate when Chris Wallace tried to stump him and he says, President Trump, you're famously against masks, and you have these rallies in which people are close together. And Trump says, I'm not against masks. I have one right here. He pulled his mask out of his jacket pocket. I wear it when it's necessary. And that's a good point. So this blows a complete hole, anecdotally, into the two fictional lies that have been spread about masks and about testing. Number one, the people around the president who got sick weren't the people closest to him in all cases. His spouse got it, but that's because we know he and his spouse are knocking boots. You know, Donald Melania is still getting down with it. They're still getting jiggy with it. So that's how they spread it, probably. But Barron didn't get it. Barron sees his mother and father every day. In addition to Barron, Eric didn't get it. Don Jr. didn't get it. His daughter didn't get it. None of those people got it. Now, how is that possible if they weren't wearing masks and the mask protects you, right? Okay. Then we also saw people that famously took photographs and they circled around all the members, the Republican members of the Senate and the staffers who've now gotten it. And amongst the people that they did that with included people wearing masks. So clearly the masks are not foolproof, which is what we've been telling people all along. It can help in certain circumstances, but get your facts straight. So it blew the hole out of the mask. People wearing masks got COVID. People who've stayed home have gotten COVID. So what are you talking about here? And number two, the test. Nobody gets within, not a single person gets within the President of the United States within 50 feet of the President without a COVID-19 test and the rapid tests. So clearly the tests don't work. At least not 100% efficacy. Why do I say that? Because clearly someone had COVID who was in the president's orbit and passed along to him and Melania, or vice versa. It got to him. And everyone gets tested. So this mantra and these lies from the left that they've been saying for Donald Trump, we don't have enough tests. We have tested over 100 million people in this country. 130 million people or something like that. 1 out of 3 people in this country have been tested numerically. Now, not 1 out of 3 because some people have multiple tests like the president. But 100 million plus tests, more than any country on the planet. The closest to us now is India, which is catching up, but it has 1.6 billion people. We have 330 million. We've tested more people than anyone else on the planet. Oh, what's this? What's this? We got some movement there. Let me see if I can't get a better channel there. So let me turn that off for a moment while I try to get a better channel and see if we're getting something there. So the test, clearly, as I've always said, unless you confine every person on the planet to the same spot and they don't move for 2 weeks, then you haven't defeated it. It's the only way you're going to defeat it. You can't keep 8 billion people, 9 billion people locked down for 2 weeks not moving and not spreading things. So it's obviously not going to work. That's the bottom line here. But they don't want to talk about that. They want to pass this fiction and get people to have this false sense of, let me see what's going on here. Okay, that one's there's no feed. All right, I'm going to go with the Fox News. So let's put this up now, folks. Here we go. All right. So now I've got that up. I don't hear anything. There we go.
Oh, I gotta go find it.
All right, so this is the feed outside of Walter Reed Medical Center, folks. It's a live feed. Got the sound on there. I'll turn it down a little bit so the background noise, so you don't hear people chatting in the background. But yeah, so the testing. Now, is testing effective? Yes, testing can help, but it's not a perfect solution, nor are masks. And the proof of the pudding is Donald Trump and him getting COVID-19. Not because he dismissed the virus, not because he refused the mask, because that's a lie. The guy does wear a mask. But they like to lie about Donald Trump all the time. So there you go. Yako says, is Trump going on the campaign trail again, or is he going to take a few days to recover? I don't know. I hope he takes another 4 or 5 days to recover, but it's him. Even if Rona has the same mortality rates as seasonal flu, it's not pandemic worthy, then this whole scare is a global political game they're playing behind the scenes. It is. It's exactly what it is. Doesn't reduce the lethality or mortality of it, and doesn't make it any less dangerous, but the games that they're playing politically are ridiculous. We've turned the entire equation on how to deal with a pandemic upside down after a millennia of dealing with pandemics. In a pandemic, you isolate the vulnerable, you quarantine the infected, you search for a vaccination, and you take preventative measures like social distancing, mask, cleanliness, sanitization. That's what you do. And that's not what we've done. We've imprisoned the entire population, preventing herd immunity, and we've allowed the vulnerable to walk around and be exposed and not identify the vulnerable correctly in many cases. In some cases, like here in Pennsylvania, we put the vulnerable at risk. The governor of Pennsylvania sent people to nursing homes who were COVID positive. Insane. There you go. There's the Don, ladies and gentlemen. Let me change that around so you see him full screen. Okay, here we go. Going to come out, President Donald John Trump, ladies and gentlemen, coming out at Walter Reed National Medical Center.
Mr. President, how many staff are sick? How many of your staff are sick? Thank you very much.
What an asinine question.
Do you think you might be a super spreader, Mr. President?
Oh my God, you hear that? A super spreader. What an ass. What an absolute ass. Ask the president if he's a super spreader. Are you a super moron, you faux journalist? Are you a super moron? Notice he's physically well, walking with a good gait, in control of his emotions. Whoa, that just ended very quickly. What happened there? That was strange. Wow. Is that the end of the feed? That was strange. Wow, folks. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there, but that feed just ended very quickly here. Let me go ahead and turn that off for a second here. What was going on with that? Wow, that was strange. Interesting that one that was. Okay. Okay, let's see if the feed's still up on PBS, coming up any better. There we go. What happened to that? That's it. So we're going to go to PBS, folks. Here you go. There you go. There's PBS Marine One. I don't know why the president's got in a car. I guess it's going to drive him there. Not the best of camera angles that were being provided by PBS. Obviously, don't have an ideal spot for the media to sit with this. Are you a super spreader? That's the question that was asked. How many of your staff are ill? Folks, do people like that actually go to journalism school? Do they actually pass journalism? It's utterly insane. Utterly insane. Well, there we go. Let's do this. All right, I'm going to move myself over here. There we go. So I have a feeling we're going to see Trump on the other side here, the Trumpster. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the departure of President Donald Trump from the Walter Reed National Medical Center, the U.S. military's premier medical installation located in Bethesda, Maryland, just north of the center of Washington, D.C., in the diamond shape that you see on the map for what was supposed to be the District of Columbia. So there you go, folks. You are watching this live from Washington, D.C., from Bethesda, actually. So there you go. I've got two windows open here. I got to get rid of one of these. Oh, that was from earlier. Okay. Get rid of that one. Mainstream will see its ass sooner or later. I hope so. COVID were used to try and implement the New World Order. Hello, MF. Good to see you there. Michelle Hutton, super spreader of Law and Order. Ooh, I like that, Michelle. Super spreader of Law and Order. There you go. Are you a super spreader? Well done, Michelle. Now, once he wins the election in November, then perhaps he can get around to being a super spreader of Law and Order, because been kind of negligent on that as we wait for the election to happen. Maybe we will declare BLM to be... What's this? What's this? Boy, they keep switching the camera angle here. That's interesting. Look at the reporters got the camera down, hugging the ground there as they rush up to get close. It's like jackals, man. It's like watching the lions rush to a kill. Quick, over here. Mofusa, over here. We got a gazelle. They got a klipspringer. Yeah, but they got a Hemsbach. I'm going over there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing multiple camera angles now as they're all trying to see the president make his approach to Marine One. Whoops, now that just ended. What is going on? The cameras. Huh. There you go. Yako says Trump actually looks healthy and ready for a fight. Super spread ahead. Go ahead, Trump. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I expected Donald Trump to spend several days in the hospital and to be tweeting a storm up. There he is. He's exited the vehicle. You see President Trump looking pretty good there, folks. Giving a thumbs up to the crowd. There you go. President Trump giving a thumbs up. Boarding Marine One right now. President Donald J. Trump, ladies and gentlemen, at the Bethesda National Medical Center. All right. I'm going to move my picture. No, I'll leave my picture right there. All right. They pan back from the helicopter. Now, if those of you watched when he arrived the other day, from the angle that the film crew was at, it almost looked like Trump was landing right on top of the trees. But you can see the trees are nowhere near the helicopter pad there. Catherine says, Trump certainly looks very healthy. I agree. Modern journalists, and I use that term very loosely, they're just looking for likes and hits, not the truth. That's right, Lazon. They're looking for attention. Look at Jim Acosta. Oh, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President. Shut up, Acosta, you fraud. Andre B. says, Trump waving at people, Biden waves at grass. Well, when Biden doesn't have a mask on, that's right. Biden's always got his mask on. He's hiding behind his mask, hiding in his bunker. Hi, I'm Joe Biden, and I endorse the president's trip to Walter Reed Medical Center. I do hope you enjoyed this program. Please vote for the Kamala Harris administration. I mean, the Joe Biden administration. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. All right, waiting for Marine One to take off. There goes the convoy of vehicles. They'll head back down, and those vehicles, by the way, folks, that you see right there, weigh a ton. I mean, lots of tons. They are loaded with armor and reinflatable tires and ballistic glass, and they are unbelievable. Those things weigh a ton. Those rims have to support a lot of weight, and they travel every time the president travels. Whoever the president is, they're loaded up. You see that last vehicle, which has communication suite in it. Those vehicles are loaded up into U.S. Air Force C-17 aircraft and flown around the world. There are a couple of sets of the vehicles because, of course, they want to make sure for security purposes people can't identify the vehicle that you find the president in. There you see some Secret Service and some staffers waiting around as Marine One gets ready to take off. Folks, how cool would that be to be a pilot to fly the President of the United States around? Not an Air Force One, in a Boeing 747, but in a helicopter. Because every trip is a short one, and there are lots of trips. Wouldn't that be cool? Some hair samples in Biden's mask for sure. No doubt about it. From Sniffin, Andre. May Trump Biden. Ooh, that's a good one, Rhodesians. All right, so Robin says, I need this kind of security when I'm going about my day. Yeah, I think we all need it. This is some pretty incredible security, folks. Any moment now, we should see Marine One take off. They're just getting clearance and also coordinating. Wouldn't that be awesome if he did go in Tucker Carlson tonight? That would be in an hour and 15 minutes if Tucker Carlson. But I haven't watched Tucker in a while, folks. I'm going to tune in for Tucker tonight and see what he has to say. Lazon says, depending on what the grass Biden is waving, he might be seeing some pink elephants. Could be. Folks, those are amazing aircraft. That aircraft is equipped with all sorts of special protections and all kinds of things that you wouldn't find in other aircraft, civilian or military. And it's quite an amazing aircraft. There are a few of those. 2 will fly simultaneously, so people can't identify which one the president is in. MF would like to polish the Don's shoes. Well, it would get you a visa to come to America there, wouldn't it? All right, gentlemen, you can get this bird in the air. Light the candle. Let's get going here. Any moment. Keep waiting for takeoff. Oh, there you go. They've gotten a further view pulled back from the pad. I don't know why we're getting that radio squawk. They've turned it down. There you go. You see Marine 1 taking off. And there's the original angle right there. Gareth, I don't know if he's going to address the public. He hasn't announced that, but I would expect that once he gets back to the White House that we'll probably hear something from the president, either a tweet or maybe he'll say something. But honestly, I seriously doubt that he would leave Walter Reed unless he was in good shape. And if he's not in good shape, there you go. Now, there are actually 2 aircraft in the air, folks. So you have to guess which one, and that's the way they do it. Look at all the traffic being held up there. Whenever the president or other heads of state are moving about, you can see other roads being blocked. D.C. is quite a torturous mess, but it's better than a lot of national capitals. Trust me, I've been all over Africa for the blue light specials, and it's not a lot of fun. D.C. is actually not as bad as many national capitals. Would it be fascinating and an honor just to sit down for an hour or so and have a chat with Donald? Well, Yako, I was not a fan of his, but I'd kill for an hour with Donald Trump right now. That'd be awesome. That'd be absolutely awesome. Really would enjoy it. Okay, that squawking really is annoying. I'm going to mute that while we wait for the camera to... Oh, that's not gone. Okay, let me mute it over here, folks. Okay. Yeah, sorry for that squawking sound. You see there Marine 1. That's one of the 2 aircraft in the air. The media is focused on that one instead of both. They're both in the air, so if anyone were to fire surface-to-air missiles, that there'd be an opportunity. So you've probably watched... what is it? Eagle is Down or White House is Down or whatever those shows are about the president with that British actor. It's pretty good stuff. But yeah, so there's always a couple of these aircraft. Yako says, sorry, can't run for a 3rd term. No, I'm not. I think 8 years is enough. If you can't accomplish what you need to accomplish in 8 years, then you start to become too big for your britches. So I'm fine with the Donald. See, there's identical aircraft, ladies and gentlemen. Identical aircraft flying on alternate flight patterns and carrying, one is carrying the president, one is not. That's the way it always works, so that we don't have easy targets for those with malfeasance in their hearts. This is only a couple-minute trip, so it shouldn't take long for Marine 1 to land at the White House, assuming that's where he's headed to. I can only surmise that he's headed back to the White House. Where else would he be heading, folks? So we should see the Donald headed back to the White House, and once he gets out, we'll see if he has anything to say to the public or if he does say anything after he lands there. So that's Washington, D.C., folks. Yeah, there's a big park on the northwest side of the town, and that's actually where they're flying over rather than over people's homes. Yeah, Robin says that's clever. Now, they do lots of clever things when it comes to security for the head of state. It's not just him. Also do it for other senior members, cabinet members, and also for senior flag officers in the military. We take precautions, and I've been involved in some of those in the past, and they make a lot of sense, actually. But those 2 aircraft are flying back, and now you see them getting off the park. I'm trying to remember if it's Rock Springs is the name of the park. I don't recall off the top of my head. But I've been in that park before in Washington, D.C. It's massive. A place where a lot of people go jogging. Anyway, so coming down now towards the center of Washington, D.C., and you can get a view now as you see a backdrop. You see the buildings. You can actually get an appreciation for how fast the helicopter is actually traveling. Without that backdrop, it's hard to adjust and figure out just what the rate of movement is because you have nothing to judge it against from that distance. But here you can see quite clearly that the aircraft is flying in a rapid clip as it comes back in. And, of course, the other one is also out there. So they're focusing on that. Andre says the demon rats must be fuming. They did wish for his death, Andre. It's sickening. It's sickening to see Don Lemonhead on CNN, or was he on? Yeah, CNN, run his mouth and blame Trump for getting illness and say it was his problem. Yeah, they want him to die. It would make them so happy. They're very sick people. May this be the death of the left. Well, if Donald Trump is reelected, which I expect to happen, it will not be the death of the left, but they will be harmed badly. And that's what they're afraid of, folks. They're afraid of being harmed. So now we're getting very close to downtown D.C. We ought to be by the Watergate Hotel pretty soon as we approach the Watergate and then soon bank over towards the White House lawn. Yep, should be coming up very soon, ladies and gentlemen. The Watergate Hotel, of course, is the famous hotel on the west side of the city, right up against the Potomac, in which the Nixon campaign broke into the Democratic National Committee's offices to steal information. And there's Deloitte right there, you can see, in one of the news stations. They broke in and, of course, got caught in their burglary and later led to the resignation of President Richard Nixon. Yep, so you can see Marine One there going down. And, of course, folks, the aircraft which has the president in it, whoever the president is, that's Virginia on the other side of the river there. Macy's. I know this view very well. So, cool. Excellent. And what's that building, ladies and gentlemen? That is the Pentagon. That's right. They're flying over the Pentagon. Is he going to the Pentagon and not the White House? Would be interesting. Well, there's the helipad right there at the Pentagon, so he's not going to the Pentagon. This is interesting. That's Crystal City behind the Pentagon in Northern Virginia right there, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of great shopping over there. Lots going on. Look at those lights down there. Is that road shut down as well? So this aircraft is banking towards the Potomac. Headed down towards the Potomac, folks. We didn't see the Watergate because they were actually out of our view where these guys were at. So here you go, coming back over the Potomac. Whoops, we lost that feed. What's going on? Come on. Get my source back here. Give me a feedback. That could be the decoy, Tian. I don't know if they switched. There you go. All right. So now you see in the background there, that is Reagan National Airport. Behind, there's both aircraft right there, folks. And you see the runway for Reagan National Airport. Look at the one overtaking the other. Check it out. Look at those maneuvers. They're flying. There is the Jefferson Memorial right there underneath Marine One. Maybe it's not Marine One. Maybe the president's in the other aircraft. But I do believe that's actually Marine One with the president in it. And that is the Jefferson Memorial. Isn't that an iconic shot, ladies and gentlemen? That rocks. That's absolutely amazing, that shot right there. And you can see the White House. There it is. There it is. There is the White House. Isn't that cool? I didn't realize that was a view. Oh, come on. Get your cameras right. Come on. Now they're almost landed. They should be switching to a camera that's on the ground right by the White House. So that was Marine One right there as it comes in for a landing on the south lawn of the White House, ladies and gentlemen. You are looking at the White House from the northern side, looking down towards the White House with the Jefferson Memorial in the backdrop. And you can see Washington, D.C. there, buses traveling about down in front of the White House. So still beats an Uber. It does beat an Uber. Robin's heart's racing. Good vibes, Donald Trump. Come on, let's switch the camera angle, folks, here. This is pretty lame. And there's the other one still up in the air. You can see him in the top right-hand corner of the screen. No, that's actually a boat. My apologies. That's a boat out on the Potomac. All right, looks like the aircraft has landed. Why don't we have a proper film crew on the ground? And there you go. Pulling back, you see the Washington Monument there, the iconic Washington Monument on the left-hand side. And there you see Reagan National Airport across the Potomac there. So, yeah, where is floated? She's in the White House, Yanni. She never left the White House. It is a pretty amazing view, folks. Here, let me turn my camera off so you can get a better view real quick. All right, there you go. And you can see I've got this from PBS. I'm not sure what's going on, why Union Building's Pretoria. Yeah, it has some of it's similar. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know why we're getting this crappy view. Let me see, folks, if I can. Let me do this very quickly. I'm going to turn myself back on, turn that off because nothing's happening there, and see if I can't find another source and get back to, let me see this. See if I can't get a better feed here. Okay. All right. That's CBS. That's ABC. There's Fox. Let's see if it's still on.
I want to begin by thanking all of the incredible...
That's an ad. Sorry, folks. I got an ad playing. That's for Fox. Trying to get it going here. Give it a moment here, folks. Let me get back to the other one. And I got to get through this ad. Skip ads. Let me see if we got a feed here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is Fox, folks. Let me get this one back on. Second screen. All right, there's Marine One landing at the White House. I'm going to take myself off the screen so you guys can hear it or see it.
What would think about it, man?
May the force be with Trump.
I thought part of his narrative was the last president.
MF says I'm a better commentator than most commentators in rugby game. Well, thanks. Actually, I can call rugby games too. I'm not as good as I am with politics, but I can do rugby games, and I love rugby. I'd love to get into rugby broadcasting, but I don't know if I really have the requisite skills. Love to do it, though. It is an amazing view, Lazon. I really enjoyed it. It's pretty cool. That is Marine One, folks. So he hasn't exited. Of course, you know, the key for us is, even though we don't have a good camera angle, will be the feet on the ground. When you see the feet on the grass, you'll know the president has exited. Oh, yeah, those choppers are amazing. Yako, I used to work 300 meters, 400 meters from where those helicopters were based at every day. I saw those helicopters every day when I went out for a jog or when I picked an alternate parking spot because parking was a headache. Yep. Bowling Airfield in Washington, D.C. is where they're based out of. Awesome place. See that they just opened up the doors to the White House there on the South Lawn? Quentin says he'll never be able to sneak back into the house after a late night. No, the Don can't do that. That's why I love that one of those presidential movies, the one with Clint Eastwood. I can't remember which one, where he played a Secret Service agent, or not Secret Service, when he was the thief, not Secret Service agent, and he broke into the White House. It was secret passage out of the White House, which took him down to the Potomac. That was BS, utter nonsense, but it was good television entertainment. Okay, we see the crew chief has exited the aircraft and is opening the doors now, and we can expect to see the president come out. There's the ramp coming down. They pulled back so you can't see it anymore. How stupid a news crew is this? Okay, now we can see the ground again. The crew chief has walked back to the front of the aircraft. You can see him now by the water fountain. Okay, feet are out. Somebody's out of the aircraft. The White House press pool is over there to the left-hand side behind the tail rotor on the aircraft. And it's interesting that the aircraft has stopped its rotors, so it's not going to leave the lawn, at least not while the president is getting out of there. Hey, Robin says, I wish my family would welcome me home like this after a rough day. Wouldn't that be cool? President Danger. No, it's not Clearing President Danger. Clearing President Danger was with Harrison Ford. But it's not that one. It's a different one. I can't recall the name of it. Okay, there's nothing happening up there on the porch, you geniuses, unless they're trying to focus in on the helicopter and see through the windows, which we can see now. We can see the pilots up front. There's two pilots in the front of Marine One. In the back, difficult to see what's going on. Okay, somebody's exiting the aircraft now. They've just walked down the ramp. I don't know if that's the president or not, ladies and gentlemen. But let's zoom back. No, it wasn't him. It looked like someone in uniform walking left. But I can't make out anything because at least with the feet we can make a good conclusion. So a bunch of people out of the aircraft now. I suspect that pretty much almost everyone's out of it, including the president, but we don't know because this is a hideous camera angle. Shame. Oh, is that the president up there? The president is up on the top, folks. He's already at the top. Look at him right there by the flags. He's going to wave. Here he goes. All right. There he is. President Donald Trump took his mask off. There he is. The Don put the mask in his pocket. All right, the blades, the rotors are turning on Marine One again, so they are going to take off after all. President Trump, 2 thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. 2 thumbs up from the president. There you saw it. 2 thumbs up from President Trump right there. He's looking good. Good posture. Of course, we're seeing this from quite a distance. Grabbing his tie and his jacket right there, pulling on the lapel. You gotta love that. Pulling on the lapel. Yako's looking for the football. No, you're not going to see the football. There'll be more than one person that has something that looks like the football as a decoy. That's how it works, folks. Somebody's whispering on the camera. I can hear them. So somebody's up there talking to the president. Oh, he's offering a salute. There you go, folks. Salute to the crew on the aircraft. Returning salute. That's a photographer up there, the president, okay? So he's holding that salute a long time, folks. Well, if he were succumbing to the Rona, that would be hard, if not impossible to do. Look how long he's held that salute up, folks. Never seen Barack Obama hold a salute that long. There it is. All right, that was a good 30 seconds for the salute. Ladies and gentlemen, President Donald Trump returning from the Walter Reed National Medical Center, Bethesda, Maryland. Just arrived at the White House. Marine One taking off from the South Lawn right now. Headed back over to its home station, Bowling Airfield, folks. There you go. Now that's a Patriot yacht. Well, I agree. And look at this. Isn't that cool how it maneuvers right there? Awesome. Right there on the lawn, the South Lawn of the White House, ladies and gentlemen. President Trump is now standing out there waiting for Marine One to leave, offering another salute. That's cool. That was a quick salute. Look at that. Large and in charge, ladies and gentlemen. President Don J. Trump. There you go. Waving to the crowd. Looks like he's going to head back into the White House now, folks. Fascinating situation here. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. President Donald Trump headed back to the White House. You can hear as Marine One flies overhead the away from the White House. Look at the staff and military personnel. The football's right there, walking inside the bottom. In case you're curious, Yako. I think it was Yako. That's where the football is. Just went in that bottom door down there. And so there you have it. And we're talking, of course, about the nuclear football, the nuclear codes. There you go. What's with this freaking trash truck getting in front of our view? Whoa, what is this? What is this? Is somebody collecting trash? That looks like a trash truck. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, there you have it, folks. President Trump is back at the White House after a weekend at Walter Reed National Medical Center. And now the media is going to complain he didn't speak to us. Of course. Well, you know what they'll complain about, Quentin? He took his mask off. Didn't he learn anything from this scare? And if you look at the top of the White House, ladies and gentlemen, you'll notice that there are some folks up there, as there always are, 24/7. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so where are we at now? Well, we're going to see if there's going to be anything else, but I suspect that's probably pretty much going to be it. Let me turn down this background volume a little bit. All right, Andre says, trash truck mistook CNN camera crew for rubbish. Oh, slam. Andre tosses down the gauntlet. Look at Andre. The trash truck mistook the CNN camera crew for the rubbish bin. Brilliant. Brilliant. It's actually Fox feeds. But anyway, I got your point. It's still funny. It's a good burn. That's a burn. That's a burn. Anyway, the president now is in the White House, ladies and gentlemen. His staff is floating around back there. So hopefully he'll go on tonight, either on the air or, I don't know, in Tucker Carlson, or maybe his good buddy there. What's his name there? Drawing a blank there. 9 o'clock comes on every time. Drawing a blank. Anyway. We will see if he does go on there. Anyway, imagine he comes on and says, listen, COVID is a scam. We're done. Wouldn't that be a mic drop? Is he back outside, folks? No. That's someone that looks a lot like the president on the left-hand side there. No, that's not the president. Looks a lot like him, though. Kind of portly. That's not the president, though. That was a great burn. You hear the trash truck, folks? You hear the rubbish truck right next to what's going on here. This is hilarious. Anyway, let's see. What else we got here? All right, Quentin's off to bed. Have a good night. Folks, I'm going to probably drop off here shortly. I was waiting a few more minutes to see if we had anything else from the coverage. Doesn't look very promising. But anyway, Sean Hannity, thank you, Dr. Mold. Dr. Mold, I don't think I've ever seen you before. Welcome to the channel. Sean Hannity, that's right. That's President Trump's best bud there. I wouldn't be surprised to see him on Hannity tonight as a surprise guest. That would be interesting. Tucker Carlson, less likely, probably likely to go on to Sean Hannity. Thank you for that. Help me with that senior moment. Hope Trump exposes the scandemic. That would be great. Manchi comes on, yeah. And what else? Hannity report is good, Doc. Thank you, says Moki Ungara. You're most welcome. It's my pleasure. I'm glad to have covered this for you folks. You've been watching the live stream of President Donald Trump departing the White House, or excuse me, departing the Walter Reed National Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, the premier medical facility for U.S. military personnel. The left was whining about Donald Trump being at Walter Reed. Why does he get to use it? Why do we get the Affordable Care Act? Well, you get the Affordable Care Act because you were defrauded by the Democrats who voted for a bill they'd never read and created this un-American, unconstitutional, unaffordable Care Act. That's why you're stuck with that, which, by the way, took over 20 million working Americans off of health insurance and gave over 12 million illegal foreign invaders access to our medical system in bills they don't have to pay. And so that's why you have it, because Congress defrauded you and Obama defrauded you. So Trump needs to get rid of this. He tried the first term, and all we got rid of was the mandate, so it's still there. Somebody is chatting away on the news here, and it's very annoying, so I'm going to tune that out for a second here. Anyway, so I put that in the background, folks. So that's why you have the Affordable Care Act leftist in this country. As far as the president using Walter Reed, yeah, he is the commander-in-chief. Not in the military, but the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military, and hence military facilities and equipment are at his disposal. And that's how it works. That's how it worked for Barack Obama. That's how it worked for George Bush. That's how it worked for Bill Clinton, yada, 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 yada. So stop your silly... This is what the left whines about. And Donald Trump is using Walter Reed. Well, of course he's using Walter Reed. So now they've jumped back. Here's some images of when he was on Marine One. There's a good shot of it right there, folks. And there's no sound of that because that's a still shot. I thought that was a video. That's actually a still shot from when he was on Marine One. That's a few minutes ago. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce this. One up, Colonel. We are your family. Sleep tight. Good night. All right, good one for you. Have a good one. McCain screwed us in the ACA vote. I agree, Dr. Mole. Oh, okay, now we're seeing footage of when Donald Trump left the aircraft. They got a better angle there. This is from the other side. This is from White House press pool. Those of you who left, you're missing it. This is what we get to see now. Donald Trump walking out. Oh, he touched the rail. He must be infirm. Oh, his salute was a microsecond. He must be infirm. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Strong gait, waving to the crowd, wearing a mask, looking healthy. For a 74-year-old, looking pretty good right there. Yep, this is Donald Trump. This is the feed from a few minutes ago from the pool. And he gives a thumbs up to the White House press pool as he walks up to the White House, folks, a few minutes ago. President Trump. How are you feeling? I wonder if he said something at the top. We'll see if we hang on just a couple minutes, folks. We'll see that, if he actually said something. This is awesome to get this additional feed, which I wasn't expecting. Fit as a fiddle. Yeah, okay, he's going to get to the top. Let's see. I'm going to turn the volume up, and maybe if Trump says something, we'll be able to hear it. Charlotte's Web is back. Good morning. Wow, the leader of the free world going home beats the China virus. Whatever meds he took is going to be the cure. Beating the Gates and deep state vaccine is their evil game. Oh, that's awesome. His orange hair is an orange. No, it's blonde. Here we go. He'll take the mask off. Okay, folks, let's see if he said anything when he took the mask off. Unlike a lot of lazy leftists, he didn't throw his mask on the ground. Put it in his pocket. Two thumbs up from the Commander-in-Chief. I think he's telling somebody to step back. He looks serious, folks, doesn't he? Looks serious. The Don is ready for business, ladies and gentlemen. He is ready for business. Look at that. There's a proper salute, ladies and gentlemen. Very few presidents have rendered proper hand salutes in return to the military. Some have been quite sad. Some have been good, but some have been quite sad. But Donald Trump, he's got it down. He is a master showman. He knows how to perform when it's time. Hey, Hendo. Andre says he seems well rested and ready for business. I agree. Look at that. He's ready. It's the man on a mission, folks. Tian says, not bad for a guy who didn't serve. That's true, Tian. Yeah. Having never served, he's got it down right. Andre wishes he'd shave his hair and grow a Chris beard. Hey, Jim G. Good to see you again. MF says, I think he's hot full of this COVID. I think he is too. I think he's hot full of the leftists. Look at that. Look at that look. He is angry. He has the right to be. That's right. They've tried to destroy him over and over again. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He takes a licking, but he keeps on ticking, ladies and gentlemen. That's from the pool coverage. That's not live. What you just saw, that was from a few minutes prior. And they loaded that up so we could see it. That was the president entering the White House after returning from Walter Reed National Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. That was actually not from ABC. That was from Fox, so that's interesting, but check that out. All right, that's fascinating. Let me get that out of there and turn that off. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching live coverage of an historic event. President Donald John Trump returning from Walter Reed National Medical Center, where he was undergoing treatment and rest and recuperation from contracting the Wuhan coronavirus, COVID-19, Beijing's bio-revenge, folks. Yeah, he contracted that, and he is now back at the White House, and by all accounts, looks quite healthy. Also looks a bit bent out of shape. I'd say the president looks kind of pissed off and ready to get down to the nation's business and get out and hit that stump and send Sleepy Joe Biden packing. Anyway, I'll tell you what, that was a man who conveyed confidence, and I'm impressed, but let's watch the leftist news coverage of it later tonight and see what their whining is. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, here's a few predictions. The president who is responsible for this horrific pandemic. his racism and bigotry, preventing the Chinese who are infected from coming to America so we can embrace them in open arms during Chinese New Year. And thus preventing the spread of the virus. He's a racist and a xenophobe. His irresponsible behavior, refusing to wear a mask when he's on the toilet by himself, is the reason he contracted this virus. And all the people that were at his event that were wearing masks who also contracted, they got it. Well, they got it because they're Republican and they deserved it. Unfortunately, Donald Trump has survived this virus, and now will have to be subjected to at least a few more weeks of his bigotry and racism. The man who extends unprecedented financial assistance to historically black colleges and universities, a man who signed an executive order addressing sickle cell anemia for the first president to do that in decades, a man who's created an opportunity zones for African Americans to ensure investment in blighted urban centers, a man who told African Americans 4 years ago, vote for me, what do you have to lose? Well, now, I sound like I'm on The Simpsons. Who's that guy? The boss from The Simpsons? So it sounds like I'm The Simpsons. So a man who clearly is not a friend of people of color, Donald Trump, he is alive, and it appears he's quite well. And we're very sad to hear that. That news is very distressing to see. But folks, there you have it. And now he will be on the stump competing with former Vice President Joe Biden. That's Jim Crow Joe, who'll be back on the stump. But, of course, Vice President Biden is currently hiding in his bunkers somewhere in Delaware, wearing his mask in his room by himself. We turn now to Joe Biden. Please tell us, Joe, what's going on? Well, I'm Joe Biden, and I endorse Donald Trump's return to the White House because I'll wipe the floor with Donald Trump in the next debate. Well, there you have it, folks. So the left media will lose their minds and they will have fun. Mr. Smithers, that's who it was, Andre. I sound like Mr. Smithers. Thank you. No, I'm not a big Simpsons fan, but that sounded like Mr. Smithers. That was pretty good, wasn't it? Was that pretty good? I sound like Mr. Smithers. Anyway, hopefully Trump has not been mentally tampered with, as apparently was Boris Johnson. Yeah, Boris Johnson was also in the hospital for a number of days, too. Yeah. DJ Trump in the house. Eagle has landed, ready to kick some liberal arse. There you go, Andre B. Why does the left always whine, bitch, and moan? Damn idiots. I agree, Yako. What absolute crap. I cannot believe it would say this. They will. They will. And Andre says that was Mr. Smithers. That was my Mr. Smithers. I do that pretty well. Cool. Okay. So Mr. Burns, Smithers. I'm hot full of Donald Trump, Allen lives. What? Donald Trump, Allen lives matter. I don't know what that means. CNN is spinning. Oh, they're already spinning it, says Ants. Yeah, already spinning. All lives mutter. Muta. Yeah, so folks, I'm going to call it here in just a minute. We're almost at an hour. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm loving these breaking news stories. I'll probably do them more often. By the way, Ronaldo Jose asked me if I was going to do live coverage of the elections. I will, but I'm going to have to do it from my laptop, folks. So I'm going to have to do some jiggling around and reconfiguration because I'm not going to sit here in my studio and not have my 65-inch screen on. I want to watch my 65-inch screen. So I'll have to figure something out before we get to the election next month. And I'll set it all up so I use my laptop, or I'll move my PC to a different location, which is more likely, so I can retain my two screens. And then I'll have my command center for the election. So that's coming up, ladies and gentlemen, in November, if you want to watch the election live. And I'll start my coverage in the evening as the election booths close around 7 p.m. on the East Coast. I'll probably start it then and go till after midnight, most likely. So it'll be a long stream for those who want to watch it, but I will be doing live coverage of the presidential election and the results. So what's happening for the House of Representatives and for the Senate in November. That's coming up, folks. Chris, I just popped in, and as my data is capped, we'll try to get that figured out. Sorry to hear your data is capped, Jim G. I know that in South Africa, people in Africa and other places, your data is something you pay for. It's precious. So I'm very grateful that you tune in for my streams, and I hope that you get something useful out of it. So that's my pleasure to provide this to you, folks. Anyway, thanks, Jim G, for popping in. I hadn't seen you in a bit, so I was wondering what happened. But, yeah, cap data will do it. Yanni to fly over and help you. Oh, get Yanni to fly over. No, it's not hard, Robin. It's pretty easy to set up. I just need the space. I don't have an ideal setup. I have a couch and a big ottoman that's like, about 2 meters by 3 meters in front, and then I have a 65-inch TV. So I want to set, but I'm going to have to run my PC so I have more processing power and a bigger screen to deal with than the laptop. And I'm also going to have to run the network cable. But the network cable is easy. That's a long cable. It's about 100 feet, so I'm good to go. What jacket? Oh, yeah, this is a Women's Rugby World Cup 2017 in Ireland. That's what this is. Let me lean forward right there. You can see it right there on the screen. So Women's Rugby World Cup 2017 in Ireland. It's from Kukri. There you go, Kukri. And you see the Irish knot right here. This is the Irish braid and knot. So it's pretty cool colors. Don't you like that? I love it. Look at that. Really, oops, lean back a little bit there. There you go. It's pretty awesome. Very comfortable too, by the way. Been wearing this all day. That's the jacket I have on. All right, folks, that's it. We're going to cap it at 1 hour. Thank you. God bless. I'll be on tomorrow. Early stream, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. in South Africa, Botswana. Renee Kruger will be on the channel. And just by serendipitous action, we are fortunate that tomorrow is the day that the court case, the arraignment takes place for the two murderous thugs, suspects, they haven't been convicted, suspects in the murder of young Brendan Horner in the Free State. So that'll be tomorrow at 11 a.m. and they will have already had the court case, and so we'll be able to talk about it. So please tune in tomorrow, 11 a.m., 5 p.m. South Africa and Botswana time, 4 p.m. in Windhoek, London, Abuja. It's an hour early, folks. Please tune in. Renee Kruger will be on with me tomorrow. I'm welcoming her back to the channel. The subject is Heritage Day, but no doubt we will talk about the murder of young Brendan Horner, one of the latest plasmoord taking place in South Africa. So that'll be tomorrow here on the channel, folks. Thank you for your patronage and your support. God bless and have a good night. If you're in South Africa, go get some sleep. Go get some sleep. I'm going to get some food because I'm starving like Marvin. All right, folks, God bless and have a good night. This has been a Chris Wyatt Africa in Daba Africa production of President Donald Trump returning from the Walter Reed National Medical Center to the White House. God bless and have a good night, folks, and we will see you tomorrow.